I never believed my life could collapse so fast. You grow up hearing about betrayal in books, movies, gossip, but you always think that's never going to be me. You think you're careful, that you choose the right person, that if you work hard enough, love hard enough, you'll be safe. That's what I thought. And I was wrong. So wrong. Her name was Anna. To me, she wasn't just a girlfriend. She was the future I had dreamed about for years. The woman I wanted to marry, to build a family with, to grow old with. I trusted her with my heart, my secrets, my life. When I looked at her, I felt like everything I had gone through, the heartbreaks, the rejections, the lonely nights, it all finally made sense because it had led me to her. For months, we planned our wedding. I threw myself into it with every ounce of energy I had. I wanted it to be perfect, not just for me, but for her. I watched her try on dresses, listened to her talk about flowers, venues, decorations. Every time her eyes lit up while imagining our big day, my chest swelled with pride. I thought, this is it. This is happiness. Then Emily showed up, her younger sister. Emily had always been around in the background, family dinners, occasional holidays, but she never lived with us. Until one day, Anna told me her sister was struggling. She needs a place to stay for a while, Anna said, just until she gets back on her feet. Of course I said yes. What kind of fiancé would I be if I didn't support her family? At first it seemed harmless. Emily stayed in the guest room, kept mostly to herself. I told myself it was temporary, that it wasn't a big deal. But slowly, so slowly I almost didn't notice, it started to feel different. The late-night conversations between Anna and Emily. The inside jokes I wasn't a part of. The way Anna started canceling plans with me, but somehow always had time for her sister. I shrugged it off at first, telling myself I was overthinking. But deep inside, something didn't sit right. Then came that night. I woke up at around 2 a.m. The room was dark, quiet, but the bed beside me was empty. Anna was gone. My stomach tightened immediately. Maybe she went to the bathroom. But minutes passed. No sound of running water, no footsteps, just silence. And then faint whispers. I crept out of the bedroom, my heart pounding so loud I was afraid they would hear it. I followed the sound into the living room. The glow of a phone screen illuminated their faces. Anna and Emily sitting way too close together, whispering frantically. But what froze me in my tracks was Anna holding my phone. I blinked, confused, my mind scrambling to make sense of it. Why did she have my phone in the middle of the night? Why did Emily look like she was about to burst into tears? Anna? I said, my voice shaking. Her head snapped up. For a moment, pure shock crossed her face, but almost immediately, it morphed into anger. "Why are you sneaking around?" she hissed, like I was the one caught doing something wrong. My blood cold. "Sneaking around? That's my phone you're holding!" Emily buried her face in her hands. Anna glared at me with this look I'd never seen before, a look that said, "I don't care what you saw, I'm going to twist this until you're the villain." That was the moment the ground cracked beneath my feet. That was the moment I realized something much darker was happening than I had ever imagined. I thought I was engaged to the love of my life, but what I really was prey.
That night didn't end with shouting. It didn't end with apologies. It ended with silence so heavy it pressed on my chest like a weight. I stood there, frozen, watching Anna clutch my phone like it was hers, like she had every right to it, while Emily sat pale and shaking beside her. "Explain," I demanded, my voice low, steady, though my insides were on fire. Anna scoffed like I was being ridiculous. "I was just checking something. Don't overreact." Checking something at 2 a.m.? On my phone? With her sister hiding behind her like a scared child? Something in me broke right then. A tiny voice whispered, "She's lying. And this isn't the first time." But instead of confessing, instead of even trying to calm me down, Anna doubled down. She turned it around on me. Why are you spying on me? Why don't you trust me? Do you know how toxic that is? Toxic. That word cut deep. Toxic was the last thing I thought I was. I had been supportive, patient, devoted. Hell, I had put my entire savings into a future with her. And now she was looking at me like I was the problem? I looked at Emily, hoping for some kind of truth, some kind of answer. But she wouldn't meet my eyes. Her hands trembled. She knew something. She knew everything. Anna noticed my gaze and snapped, "Don't drag her into this. This is between you and me." But no, it wasn't. It was never just between Anna and me. And in that moment, the puzzle pieces started clicking together. The late-night whispers, the canceled plans, the excuses that never made sense. I whispered, almost too afraid to say it out loud. "It's her, isn't it?" The room went still. Anna's face hardened. Emily's tears spilled over. And even though Anna barked, "You're insane! Don't you dare accuse me of that!" I didn't need a confession. I saw the truth written in both their faces. The woman I was supposed to marry was betraying me with her own sister. I felt like the air was sucked out of the room. My knees went weak. My vision blurred. My heart was beating so fast it hurt. I couldn't think, couldn't breathe, couldn't move. And yet, Anna kept talking, kept spinning lies, excuses, manipulations. She swore it was innocent, that I was imagining things, that if I loved her, I'd let it go. But then came the dagger. "If you walk away from me over this, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." It wasn't a plea. It wasn't fear of losing me. It was a threat. That was the moment I realized Anna wasn't just unfaithful. She wasn't just dishonest. She was dangerous. I walked out that night. No shoes, no jacket, just keys in my pocket and rage in my veins. The cold air hit me like a slap in the face, but it felt cleaner than the poison I had just left behind. I drove until the sun came up, tears blinding my vision, rage shaking my hands. And for the first time since I met Anna, I thought, I don't know this woman at all. But I had no idea how much worse it was going to get.
I thought walking away that night was the end of it. I thought I'd had my heart ripped out. But at least the truth was in front of me. At least I could finally start moving on. But Anna wasn't done with me. Not even close. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Calls, texts, voicemails. At first, I ignored them. I didn't want to hear her voice. Didn't want to give her another chance to twist my reality. But curiosity is a cruel thing. It eats at you. And eventually, I opened the messages. What I saw made my stomach churn. It wasn't apologies. It wasn't pleas for forgiveness. It was gaslighting on steroids. "You're crazy. You imagined it. You're paranoid. If you really loved me, you'd come back. Emily and I were just talking. Nothing happened." Over and over, the same manipulative lines, designed to make me question myself, to make me doubt my own memory, my own sanity. But then, one message stood out, a message she didn't mean to send to me. It wasn't meant for my number. It was meant for Emily. "He almost caught us. Be careful." My vision went white-hot with rage. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. There it was, the proof, the confession she'd been denying, gaslighting, spinning in circles to hide. And she had sent it to me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to drive back, kick down the door, and throw her lies in her face. But something stopped me. A cold, rational voice inside me whispered, "Don't show your cards yet. If she's hiding this much, there's more, much more." So I stayed quiet. I didn't respond. I let her think I was broken, that I was doubting myself, that her manipulation was working. And behind the scenes, I started digging. I checked phone records, bank statements, her social media, old posts, deleted pictures, private messages. And what I uncovered felt like peeling back the skin of a monster I thought I loved. She had been lying for months, not just sneaking around behind my back, but using me, my money, my house, my trust. It had all been her safety net while she entertained a secret life with her sister. Emily wasn't innocent either. She played the quiet victim, but I found her messages too. Whispered promises, plans to run away together, mocking me behind my back, calling me blind. Every discovery was another stab in the chest. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, my hands shook constantly. I went from heartbroken to furious to utterly destroyed. And yet, beneath all that pain, one thought began to harden into steel. They think they've won. They think I'm weak. They think I'll just disappear. No. I was not going to vanish. I was not going to let them rewrite the story, paint me as the villain, the crazy ex-fiancé who couldn't handle reality. I was going to make sure the truth came out, every last piece of it. What I didn't know at the time, though, was just how far Anna was willing to go to keep her secret buried. And when the mask finally came off, I realized I hadn't just dodged a bullet. I had escaped something much, much darker.
For days, I played along. I let Anna think she was still in control. I ignored her late-night rants, her crocodile tears, her desperate attempts to pull me back into her web. But the truth? I was done being her victim. I saved every message, every voicemail, every accidental text. I took screenshots, made backups, hid copies where she'd never find them. If she wanted to paint me as crazy, fine. I'd make sure the world saw what crazy really looked like. But then, Anna's game shifted. At first, she begged, pleaded, claimed she loved me, that she'd made a mistake, that Emily meant nothing. It was pathetic, almost laughable. But when begging didn't work, she tried fear, threats. If you tell anyone, you'll regret it. You don't know who you're messing with. I'll ruin you before you ruin me. That's when I realized Anna didn't just cheat. She didn't just betray me. She was dangerous because she had nothing left to lose. And one night, I found out exactly what that meant. It was around 11:30 p.m. I was in my apartment trying to piece my life back together when there was a knock on my door. Not a friendly knock, a hard, insistent pounding knock that rattled the frame. I froze. When I finally opened it, Anna was standing there, makeup smeared, eyes wild, her whole body trembling like she was possessed by something dark. "We need to talk," she hissed. I should have slammed the door. I should have called the cops. But some stupid part of me still needed closure, still wanted to hear what she had to say. So I let her in. Big mistake. She didn't come to apologize. She didn't come to make things right. She came to destroy what little sanity I had left. For hours she ranted about how I owed her, about how Emily was just a phase, about how if I left, no one else would ever want me. Every word dripped with venom. Every sentence was a new attempt to break me. And then, in a moment of pure rage, she slipped.
She screamed, "You were never supposed to find out. Do you think I cared about you? You were just a backup plan." That was it. The confession. The dagger in the heart. The mask was gone, ripped away, and the real Anna was standing in front of me, cold, ruthless, and cruel. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just stared at her. This stranger, wearing the face of the woman I once loved, and I realized something chilling. I hadn't lost her. I had escaped her. When I finally told her to get out, she didn't leave quietly. She trashed the place on her way out, knocked over lamps, shattered a glass, slammed the door so hard it shook the walls. And as the silence returned, I sat there in the wreckage, my hands shaking, my heart pounding. And I knew this wasn't over. Because people like Anna don't just walk away. They cling. They stalk. They destroy. And I was about to find out just how far she was willing to go to drag me down with her.
After that night, I knew one thing for certain. Anna wasn't just a cheater. She was a ticking time bomb. I stopped answering her calls, blocked her number, cut her out of every corner of my life. But that didn't stop her. No, blocking her only fueled her obsession. She started showing up everywhere, at my job, at the grocery store. Once, at 2 a.m., I looked out the window and saw her car idling across the street, headlights off, just sitting there in the dark. It was like she had turned into my shadow. Everywhere I went, I felt her eyes on me. Every corner I turned, I wondered if she'd be there. And when she wasn't, I dreaded the silence even more, because silence meant she was planning something. And then, the notes began. Slipped under my door, left on my windshield, typed out, printed, folded neatly, like some deranged love letters from a horror movie. "You'll never get away from me. Emily doesn't deserve me. Only you do. If I can't have you, no one will." Each note was darker than the last, and with each one the knot in my stomach grew tighter. This wasn't love anymore. It was obsession, pure and poisonous. I went to the police. They shrugged. "We can't do much until she does something." So I waited. I prayed she wouldn't cross that line. But she did. One night I came home to find my apartment door cracked open. My heart nearly stopped. I stepped inside, and every instinct screamed at me to turn back. The place was wrecked. Drawers pulled out, clothes slashed, pictures torn from the walls. On the mirror, in red lipstick, was scrawled one chilling word: mine. That was it. That was the breaking point. I grabbed every piece of evidence I had: screenshots, voicemails, the messages she sent, the notes, even pictures of my destroyed apartment, and marched them straight to the police. This time, they couldn't ignore me. Restraining orders, court dates, statements. It was hell, but it was also the start of freedom. And when it was finally over, when Anna was out of my life for good, I sat there in the silence of my rebuilt apartment and realized something powerful. I hadn't been ruined. I hadn't been destroyed. I was reborn. Because sometimes the worst betrayals are blessings in disguise. I didn't just lose a fiancé. I escaped a nightmare. And as for Anna and Emily, last I heard, their relationship didn't last. Toxic people always burn each other down in the end. But me, I walked away stronger, smarter, harder to fool. And I'll never, ever ignore the red flags again.